Little dookie booty, go on and get in the camera. Yeah, bitch, this is for Keisha because you clearly ain't learned your lesson the first time. Tell her what the fuck I said.
I can't.
Louder.
I can't fuck with you no more.
Cause what?
You messing up my family.
Now.
They called them relationship goals. The dancing, the laughing, the romantic gestures captured for TikTok. But on March 26th, 2023, those same hands that massaged her feet on camera, that held her close in countless videos, would pull a trigger and end 25-year-old Wynter Nicole Straw's life forever.
My name is Wynter, and I'm the birthday girl in 3 days, and I'm guaranteed to be the drunkest.
This is the story of how social media became a digital diary of a relationship heading toward destruction, and why everything that glitters on your timeline definitely isn't gold. Today, we are talking about Wynter Nicole Straw because her story is a masterclass in how perfectly toxic relationships can masquerade as love goals. And the scariest part? She was a correctional officer, a mental health professional, who spent her days helping people recognize dangerous behavior. If someone with her training couldn't see what was happening in her own relationship, what does that tell us about the rest of us?
Slide in, slide out. Yeah, you killed that hoe.
Before we get too deep, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you find value in these discussions. Born on a warm summer day in San Diego, California, Wynter Nicole Straw came into this world with a smile that would become her signature. Her mother, LaShawn Williams, used to say that Wynter's laughter could fill an entire room from the moment she could giggle.
If you met her, you loved her. And if you never met her, you wish you had.
That California sunshine seemed to follow this little girl everywhere she went. But like many American families seeking new opportunities, the Straws made a bold decision to pack up their California dreams and head east to Columbia, South Carolina. And honey, that move was everything for Wynter. At Columbia High School, she didn't just attend, she dominated. Standing tall on the basketball court, she commanded attention not just for her athletic ability, but for her natural leadership qualities. Her teammates looked up to her, coaches respected her dedication, and opponents feared her competitive fire. But basketball was just the beginning of Wynter's story. Allen University became Wynter's launching pad into adulthood, and honey, she didn't just launch. She soared. Her athletic career reached new heights there.
She helped us win our first championship at Allen. On the women's side, first championship they ever won. And she was part of that team, and she was a big part of that team.
Academically, Wynter pursued her Bachelor of Arts in Social Science with the same intensity she brought to sports. She graduated in 2020, right in the middle of a global pandemic that derailed so many students' plans. But Wynter, she adapted, completed her coursework, and walked across that virtual graduation stage with her head held high, ready to change the world. But here's where Wynter's story gets even more remarkable. Even during college, her eyes were set on an even bigger prize: law school. Her professors encouraged these dreams, seeing in her the perfect combination of compassion and intellectual rigor needed for legal advocacy. Then came the moment that changed everything. Wynter became a mother. Her daughter brought out a softness in her that few people had seen before, while simultaneously strengthening her determination to create a better world. Balancing motherhood with career ambitions would challenge anyone, but Wynter made it look effortless. She landed a position with the South Carolina Department of Corrections as a mental health officer.
And I wanna say thank you in case I don't you enough.
Outside of work, Wynter discovered TikTok, and honey, it was like finding her digital home. What started as casual videos quickly grew into something significant. Funny dance videos, travel adventures, glimpses into her daily routines, and moments of pure joy that made viewers smile just by watching.
Your life. Bing bong.
If you see these dogs in your front yard, just know upstairs I'm going hard. Bing bong. What do you want to tell Joe Biden right now?
What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo, Ariana Grande, what's up, mama? I'll come to...
Her personality translated perfectly to the platform. The same energy that made her a natural leader in high school and college now drew thousands of followers who couldn't get enough of her content. And then she met Renardo Johnson.
Stop asking me, do I have friends? It's just me and my dog.
Oh, for now.
Bark.
Now, Renardo's story is interesting because unlike Wynter, who had this clear trajectory from San Diego to Columbia, from high school basketball star to college athlete to correctional officer, Renardo's background was remarkably unclear. At 27 years old, he was 2 years older than Wynter, originally from the small town of Pelion, South Carolina. But here's what's fascinating. Despite being in a very public relationship with a social media star, very little information exists about his life before he entered Wynter's world. No college records that anyone could trace, no athletic achievements, no clear career path. It's almost as if his life story begins when he enters Wynter's orbit. And looking back now, that should have been the first red flag. They met on Snapchat. He somehow found her account and reached out. Their first date was at Rush's before the movies, but ended up throwing the food away because Wynter decided she wanted Buffalo Wild Wings to eat during the movie instead. Now that's the kind of spontaneous energy that probably drew him to her in the first place. They had been together for almost 3 years by the time everything fell apart. Both were Leos, and if you know anything about Leo energy, you know that's a lot of fire in one relationship.
Mink, mink, mink.
Wynter was more of the social butterfly in the relationship, and Renardo was antisocial, which means most of those TikTok couple videos we're about to see, she probably had to drag him into participating.
All right, it's time for you to head upstairs, take a shower, and get ready to eat some pussy.
I don't want you no.
Did I ask you what the fuck you wanted to do? No, the fuck I did not. Now go upstairs, take a shower, and get ready to eat some pussy.
From the outside, their relationship looked like everything young people aspire to. Perfectly choreographed dance routines where they moved in sync, romantic dinner dates captured from flattering angles, vacation footage showing them exploring new places hand in hand. Renardo would surprise Wynter with flowers. She would cook his favorite meals. They'd do those couple challenges that were trending at the time. The comment section was flooded with admiration. Thousands of young women looked at Wynter and Renardo and saw exactly what they wanted in their own relationships.
We're running late for dinner, but get ready with us. One more so like an outfit of the day. Purse, Forever 21. Bodysuit, Charlotte Russe. Skirt, Shein. I don't have no shoes on, but some sandals. Come on, baby.
Shirt, ABP.
Billionaire boys.
Billionaire boys. Shorts. Baby. Socks. ABP. Baby. Horsey. Sorry, yes, Foot Locker.
But here's what we need to understand about their dynamic, because it becomes crucial later. Neither of them would admit when they were wrong. Both were stubborn as hell, which means when they got into arguments, no one was backing down first. And that, my friends, is a recipe for disaster.
Never run away. You nobody's special. I feel all these girls the same. Talking shit be extra.
Even Wynter's family believed in what they were seeing. Her mother, LaShawn, trusted Renardo completely.
We didn't see any signs, no signals. It wasn't like she was coming around us with black eyes or anything like that. So there was none of that. And whenever I would talk to him, I'd say, I'm giving you my child, a wholehearted, bubbly personality. And that's how I want to get her back. And he always assured me he would never do anything to hurt my child.
This wasn't a case where relatives were secretly worried but afraid to speak up. They genuinely believed Renardo was good for Wynter. But what LaShawn and everyone else didn't realize was that Wynter was actually documenting a textbook cycle of psychological manipulation and control through her TikTok account every single day. Yet nobody recognized what they were actually watching unfold.
Who was interested first? Who said I love you first? Who's more protective? Who cleans more? Who eats the most? Who spends the most money? Who is most likely to start an argument? Who falls asleep first? Who is more annoying? Who loves the hardest?
Look at that video right there. Seems innocent enough, right? Just a fun couple challenge that was trending. But if you watch Renardo's body language, really watch it, do you see someone who's genuinely enjoying this? Or do you see someone going through the motions because he has to? Wynter was the social butterfly, remember? She was loud, she was expressive, she lived for this kind of content. But Renardo, he was the complete opposite. Antisocial, uncomfortable with cameras, probably feeling like he was being dragged into a performance he never signed up for. Now, watch these dance videos. See how Wynter's always leading. See how she's the one with the energy, the enthusiasm, the natural rhythm, and Renardo's just following along. There's something about his participation that feels forced, like he's doing it to keep the peace rather than because he wants to. But the real warning signs started showing up in the final months of Wynter's life, disguised as entertainment. Every red flag was wrapped in humor. Every concerning behavior was packaged as relationship content. Every cry for help was delivered with a smile and a trending audio clip.
It's time!
Now, that video that was posted and thousands of people laughed, related to it, shared their own stories about checking partners' phones. But relationship experts recognize this as a red flag for controlling behavior being disguised as cute girlfriend antics.
On my way to accuse him of cheating because I'm bored.
Let that sink in for a moment. She's bored, so she's going to start a fight about cheating. And then we have this video.
Instead of complaining about anything, learn to be thankful for everything. Hashtag speaking from the heart. B. Fletcher.
She appears carefree, but the message is deeply concerning. When someone tells us we're too toxic to be together, this one was posted just 4 days before Wynter lost her life. She had reached a point where she could recognize and even joke about the toxic nature of her relationship, but she couldn't or wouldn't take action to change it. Looking at their content now, with everything we know, you can see the pattern. Some days Wynter would share content highlighting Renardo's romantic gestures, flowers, surprise dates, public declarations of love, but these posts often immediately followed content with concerning undertones. It's as if she was trying to convince herself as much as her audience that everything was fine. If everyone believes the relationship is perfect, maybe it actually is. See this video where he's massaging her feet? This is what their followers saw as relationship goals. But knowing what we know now, was this genuine affection? In 2022, Wynter had survived a car accident. Someone who had already overcome a traumatic, life-threatening situation was now walking into another kind of danger entirely. But this time, the threat wasn't a vehicle on the highway. It was sleeping next to her every night. March 26, 2023 started like any other Sunday evening at Carrington Place at Wildwood Apartment Homes on Mallet Hill Road in Columbia, South Carolina. Wynter and Renardo had been inside their shared apartment for most of the day. Whatever conversations they'd had, whatever tensions may have been building, remained behind closed doors. Their social media had been quiet that day. At approximately 5:30 in the evening, something changed. Whether it was a phone call, a text message, a discovery, or simply the wrong words said at the wrong moment, we may never know. What we do know is that whatever triggered the argument was significant enough to bring both Wynter and Renardo outside their apartment into full view of their neighbors and the surrounding community. The dispute began as a heated exchange of words. Voices were raised, but this wasn't entirely unusual for the couple. Several neighbors had heard them argue before. What made this evening different was the intensity, the escalation, the way the argument seemed to consume both of them completely. Remember what we learned about their personality dynamic? Both stubborn, neither willing to admit when they were wrong, both competitive as hell. When you have two people who refuse to back down, conflicts can spiral quickly beyond normal relationship disagreements. Within minutes, what started as a verbal confrontation had transformed into something far more threatening. At approximately 6 o'clock in the evening, multiple gunshots rang out across the apartment complex. Wynter collapsed outside the apartment building. The first emergency call came from a neighbor at 6:07 p.m. Within minutes, multiple sheriff's deputies from Richland County were racing toward the scene. When the first responders arrived, they found a scene that would haunt them for years to come. Wynter was beyond help, but the tragedy was far from over. While Wynter lay deceased outside, Renardo remained alive inside the apartment, now facing the full weight of what he had done. The responding deputies quickly established a perimeter around the building. This was no longer just a crime scene. It had become a barricade situation with an armed suspect. Within the first hour, the Richland County Sheriff's Department had mobilized their crisis negotiation team. For 3 agonizing hours, the negotiation team worked tirelessly to reach Renardo. They used every technique in their training, building rapport, expressing empathy, offering hope. As the hours passed, family members from both sides began gathering at the scene. Wynter's mother arrived to find her daughter already gone. The grief was overwhelming, but mixed with it was desperate hope that maybe, somehow, this nightmare could end without claiming a second life.
According to deputies, Straw was shot and killed outside the Carrington Place at Wildwood apartment homes by a man deputies say she had a romantic relationship with.
By 9 o'clock that evening, 3 hours after Wynter had taken her last breath, the negotiators noticed a troubling change in their communications with Renardo. His responses became shorter, less engaged, more distant. At exactly 9:23 p.m., a single gunshot echoed from inside the apartment. Renardo Johnson had ended it all. The case that had begun as a domestic dispute in an apartment complex parking lot had concluded as a murder and tragedy, leaving 2 families shattered, a community traumatized, and countless questions that would never receive answers. The impact of Wynter's loss reached far beyond her immediate circle. Her co-workers at the Department of Corrections rallied together, demonstrating the tight-knit nature of the law enforcement community. But from this devastating loss came LaShawn Williams' mission for change. She refused to let her daughter's memory fade or her death be in vain. She decided to turn her pain into purpose, launching a mission to raise awareness about the hidden dangers of domestic violence.
We want to make it clear, real clear. Domestic violence is not a joke. It's not something that we should take lightly. For those of you that are posting on Facebook and doing all that unnecessary stuff, I don't care what a person does to you. You don't have the right to take her life. You don't have the right to put your hands on nobody.
LaShawn's words struck a chord with many in the community. People began to realize that domestic violence could be hiding behind seemingly perfect relationships. In the wake of Wynter's death, the community came together to honor her memory and stand against domestic violence.
When people think of Wynter, I want them to think of just a sweet, innocent girl who was out here trying to make her mom proud, make her family proud, and just to do what she loved most.
Allen University established a memorial scholarship in Wynter's name. The Department of Corrections created a purple bench in her honor, purple flowers that bloom twice yearly, once in March, near the anniversary of her death, and again in July around her birthday. But here's what troubles me most about this case, and why I think everyone needs to understand what really happened here. This wasn't a situation where obvious abuse went ignored by family and friends. This was a case where trained professionals, loving family members, and thousands of online followers all observed the same relationship and reached identical conclusions, that Wynter and Renardo represented relationship goals worth envying. The most chilling aspect isn't what people missed. It's what appeared to be genuinely there. Their affection seemed authentic. Their chemistry appeared real. Their conflicts looked playful rather than dangerous. Even with hindsight, even knowing the outcome, Their social media content remains difficult to definitively categorize as abusive rather than simply imperfect. This makes me wonder, how many relationships that we admire online might be concealing similar struggles? How many couples posting relationship goals content are actually crying for help behind those smiles? How many people are sleeping next to their potential destroyer every night, completely unaware of the danger?
Social media has created a new challenge for recognizing abuse. Couples can curate their image so carefully that even close family members believe the relationship is healthy. The constant pressure to present perfection means warning signs get filtered out before they ever reach our feeds. We see highlight reels, not the arguments that happen after the camera stops recording. Wynter Nicole Straw was 25 years old. She was a daughter, a mother, a sister, a friend, a mentor, and a dedicated professional who spent her career helping others in their darkest moments. She deserved to see 26, to watch her daughter grow up, to achieve her dreams of law school. Her memory lives on through the purple bench at her workplace, through the scholarship that bears her name, through the lives she touched, and through our commitment to recognizing that everything that glitters on social media definitely isn't gold. What's one thing this case taught you about relationships that you didn't know before? Drop it in the comments, because your insight might help someone else recognize the signs that even a mental health professional couldn't see in her own situation. So that's it for today's video. Stay safe out there, and I hope these stories help you recognize warning signs and encourage you to seek help or offer support before it's too late. I'll see you in the next episode of Crime of Passion. Thank you for watching.